What's good, man? All the way live from Phoenix, Arizona. We're back at it, y'all. I know it's Monday. Happy Monday to everybody. If you're new here to the stream, we're just going to be doing a lot of kind of in real life streaming here on this stream. We do some reactions to videos, so reaction videos, IRL, like I was saying, things about talk about things like music, photography, cinematography. So those are all things that I'm into, and that's what we talk about here on this channel. So again, welcome to the live stream. Want to thank everybody for showing up today, and let's get into it, man. As far as talking about my journey, that's what I wanted to do today. So I just wanted to talk about kind of like my creative journey, and also just about what I've learned as far as streaming so far. So, as far as streaming, over the weekend, I didn't stream. So, on the weekends, I'm not really going to stream. I do want to just stream Monday through Friday. But, that didn't stop me from working on stuff and, listening to my old streams and then trying to fix any problems that I was having with those streams. So, one of the biggest problems I was still having was the audio, and I think that's the biggest thing to be worried about when it comes to like live streaming or just video in general. You really want to have good audio because, like they say, people will watch a bad video with good audio, but they won't watch a good video with bad audio. So it's really important to work on your audio. So that's what I was doing over the weekend. One of the biggest problems I was having is when I was watching YouTube videos, the volume is always different, right? So different creators create their videos, and they're not thinking about, you know, the audio getting really loud all of a sudden or being really low in certain parts. So a lot of these videos aren't compressed, basically. So what I learned how to do is to use compression on the YouTube videos, as well as my voice. Again, using filters in OBS. But I think I solved the problem. So I did a bunch of test recording over the weekend, and the levels sounded pretty good. So hopefully this live stream will sound a lot better. Um, Also, what I was learning too is that um, my audio wasn't synced, as well as I would want it to be. So I had to work on that, and it's kind of weird in OBS. There's really no other way to do it except for to record like small clips and change the delay of the audio to the video. Either you're changing the video, you're making the video delay. So you're making the video feed delay, or you're making the audio feed delay, right? So that's what you have to work with. So I have to like tweak it a little bit by a few milliseconds, record a video of me like rapping or clapping or something, and then check to see if it's on time. And if it's not on time, then I have to change it again and then record a little video, and then do that process over and over and over until everything is synced the way I want it to be. Because before, when I was singing along to some songs that I was watching on YouTube or that I was playing, it wasn't synced up. So it didn't look like I was actually singing to the music. But anyway, yeah, that was interesting. It's Those videos are pretty funny. I actually should probably keep them because there's just a bunch of short videos of me, clapping or doing small things just to test the test test the signal and make sure that everything was in line or in sync. But anyway, it should be in sync now. We should be doing pretty good, y'all. So what the other things I did over the weekend, I did work on my cinematography reel. I know I was talking about that last week, and I'm pretty happy with how it is right now. Basically, I just put together a bunch of shots that I really liked. A bunch of shots that I took over the year, and then I put them on a timeline, and then really just got rid of a bunch of shots and tried to only keep the best shots. Um, and it's like, I'm not a professional yet or anything like that. I did I've done, quite a few client projects so far. But yeah, just talking about my journey with cinematography. Um, you know, so in the past I've made a couple like videos, but nothing serious, right? I wasn't really taking it too seriously, but I've made like a couple music videos for myself. I've edited videos for myself in that way, and done a lot of like YouTube, or not YouTube, but yeah, actually I've done a little bit of YouTube, but mostly like social media stuff, right? So like Instagram, Facebook, things like that, as far as like video work, and photo stuff like that. But pretty much, about 2 years ago, when I quit my corporate job, I decided to actually take the digital media a little more seriously. So as far as like Photoshop, taking photos using Lightroom. At the time, I was using Premiere. So making videos, hip hop videos. I did a video for my friend, my homie Rational. I did a bunch of videos for myself. But anyway, I was just thinking like, one of the things that I could do since I'm no longer going to be working, my corporate job, is I can actually offer my services as far as like digital media to other artists and just other people. Um, and that's what I did. I started a business. I started a LLC, Hyphy Picasso, and I just been doing that for the last 2 years. So um, I started taking photography and cinematography seriously about 2 years ago, right? So um, within that time, I've bought a few cameras, learned a lot, studied a lot. Because the videos that I did, I never really studied film or cinematography or anything like that. So the videos that I did, they were just like, videos that any average, person could do. But anyway, I really wanted to work to get to a point where my photography and cinematography just looked a lot better, and it was on a professional level to where I felt comfortable charging other people and things like that. So, over the first year, I practiced a lot just by starting a vlog with me and my wife. I started a food vlog, um, and I did that on Instagram. I did about 25, yeah, about 25 vlogs on that channel that year. And then also that year, I started vlogging on my Instagram live. And basically, almost not every day, but I was doing it a lot. I would make these mini vlogs on Instagram live. And I did that all year. And I did about 100 of those vlogs. So I did like 100 of those vlogs. I did the food vlog with my wife. Um, I did a couple music videos that year. And then I did a few client projects as well. So I did like some event photography and event recap videos. So anyway, that was like my first year with my company. And then the second year, or this year, second year would be this year. So basically, this year I did, few more videos for clients. I gained a different client this year, and then also I did a lot of videos this year for myself, um, like music videos. I did a lot of music videos this year, and in between all of this, I'm still doing like vlogs. I still do a lot of vlogs. Travel vlogs now is what I've been working on recently. So I put out a few like short travel vlogs on my channel, not my channel, but on my Instagram, and then also on me and my wife's Instagram, Panda and the Peacock. But basically, like this year, I still been studying this whole time and just taking it seriously, like I was saying, and taking cinematography seriously. I do work on photography as well, but I do lean more towards video or cinematography. That's what I enjoy more. But yeah, I did a few music videos and just worked with a lot of cameras and learned a lot. I just learned a lot over this last year. And anyway, I did kind of work on a cinematography reel. That's where we're at now. Today, this will be my first cinematography reel, and basically, I wanted to, like I was saying earlier, put together my favorite shots. So that's what I did. We'll check it out. Let's take a look. I just uploaded it to YouTube, and you guys can get a sneak peek. So let's see. I don't know that this would be the final form. There's still a couple edits I'm probably going to make, but for the most part, I do think that this is what it's going to be. It's not going to be the most amazing cinematography reel. I mean, I've seen some crazy sick ones, from real professionals, but um, this is what I did. Yeah, man. So that's my first attempt at doing a cinematography reel. Go ahead and roast me. I don't really know what I'm doing, but I took the advice of a few creators. They said make it short. I tried to make it like 45 seconds. It ended up being about a minute just because of the music and the way the music landed. But hey, that's what I got. That's after 2 years of studying and working on it. I'm only going to get better, but I think that's a kind of a good example of kind of where I've gotten so far. But yeah, man, appreciate y'all coming along for the journey, man. All right, so let's get into some more reactions here. So I know I was watching last week. We were watching Chris Sane, and he's that investor that I talked about that I really like on YouTube. And basically, last week he was talking about the stock market, and when we were looking at it, I was looking at Robinhood, I was looking at the stocks, and basically everything pretty much was crashing. You know what I mean? Everything was going down, and I mean everything across the board, the whole stock market. And I was saying that he's probably gonna, make a video about that because when he made the video we were watching, the stock market was still up. But yeah, after that, he did make a video about the stock market pretty much crashing over the weekend, or I don't know if you would consider that a crash, but basically, all the stocks were pretty much going down. Um, Today, I'm looking at my Robinhood right now. I see some movement, but overall, it's been in the negative, as far as my portfolio, at least. But yeah, let's see what he's talking about today. He just made a video about 16 hours ago. This one's called "Investors Should Be Cautious the Next 48 Hours." So let's see what he's talking about, man. y'all. See? Sliding with it.
What's up, YouTube? Listen, family, if you ready to make some money this week, let me know down in the comments below. As always, I got a jam-packed video for you guys, so please keep it locked. Please make sure you like, subscribe. Help this video get at least 1,000 likes. And without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into it. Guys, you already know Sundays is by far one of my favorite days of the week because it means we're moments away from being able to get back in our bag and do what we do. I got Tesla pulled up here, guys, to kick it off. Matter of fact, I'm not kicking it off with Tesla. I got the SPY up, guys. Check this out. Already, it is down $1.11. This is something to take note of that I want you guys to pay attention to in pre-market, okay? The market is in a area that could be a potential trap. All right, so normally I like to come out the gate and set the tone for the week, but this week I'm setting the tone by telling you to be on your A game in terms of risk management. Okay, guys, number one, all right, be ready, be open, and be willing to make money in both directions. That means if we go down before we go up, you guys got an opportunity to take advantage of that, okay? Let me know if that's understood. Right now, we got the SPY sitting at 593. Guys,
See, he's still talking about trading options. So like what I was talking about last time is with trading options, you can make money if the stock market goes up, but you can also make money if the stock market goes down. So that's something that I'm trying to learn how to do, but you know, right now I don't know how to do options yet. Options trading. In a time like this, that you know, it would be good to know how to make money on the downside, right?
90 to 592 is going to be support for tomorrow. Okay, long as we are above that, we're good for a move back to the upside. Okay, write this down, 590 to 592. If we are above that, okay, so you can go down a little bit, but you need to watch and react to what happens at 592. Okay, and then 590, you need to see, like, do we go lower? Do we go to 589? Do we fall from 589 to 587, so on and so forth? Or do we go to 590 and then bounce right back to 593? Those are things you want to be mindful of because it means a lot. Okay, if we hold 590, then we got a chance to go retest 600, 601 on Tuesday. Okay, this is how the game goes.
Yeah, so he's basically saying just kind of be cautious right now as far as the stock market, just because it's kind of all over the place, especially because of the way it dropped. But, you know, it should still come back up. You know, I just do long-term investing, so I don't really be tripping on like these small downtrends or when it goes down for a little bit, because I know that it will eventually go back up, or it should, right?
All right.
So yeah.
However, if we don't, you need to be prepared to pivot. That's why I need you to be flexible and nimble on this journey, okay? That's the SPY, okay, guys? Just keep it.
SPY is basically the ticker symbol for the S&P 500, which is like the 500 biggest stocks on the stock market.
This week you got 2 days, Monday and Tuesday, then you got New Year's, the market will be closed, then you got Thursday and Friday, but Monday sets the tone. Next, guys, is Tesla. Now this is good to see. It's going to
be closed for New Year's.
It's running out of nowhere because this was just down to 428. Okay, and so this is already back up $1.34. Okay, so you're going to be in a short-term $10 range tomorrow. Everybody write these levels down. To the downside, 421. To the upside, 441. Okay, you guys need to see which side of the game they're playing on. Are we going from 431 to 441?
I don't think people are happy with Elon right now.
Below 431 and around 428.
Tesla. I haven't seen
29,
my
and we're
bad.
going down to 421. Do not overcomplicate the game, guys. I want you guys to
I
learn how to
wonder if
keep it
all that
simple. When you get too cute, when you get too fancy,
I don't know if you guys know about what's going on with Elon Musk and their the whole argument there that he's having right now with MAGA, but I don't know. I wonder if that affected his stock.
guys, that's when you start making mistakes. One thing about me, and one thing that attributes the large part to my success, I keep it simple. I keep it simple. I keep it fly. I keep it simple. I keep it sweet. We ain't doing nothing extra, and ain't no need or reason to do too much. Keep it simple. Run the bag up in both directions. Take that to the bank, guys. This is 433. This is good to see if this is going to actually be something. Okay, so again, if you wait the first 30 minutes, at least 15 minutes, okay, 30 you good, but at least 15 to 30 minutes, Wall Street will always show you their hand so that you know the proper way to trade the stock for that day. And guess what, guys? If in doubt, sit it out. You don't have to take a trade. You are not obligated to take a trade every single day. If you don't see
I
the setup
don't.
you like, go ahead and sit it out. If you around here, we don't swing at pitches we don't like. We do not swing at pitches we don't like, and say you can let it go until you see something you actually want to take advantage of, something that you see a clear cut. Oh, I see this look like it's trying to do this. I see this look like it's trying to do. Oh, based on what I see on the chart, I think this move is coming next. Okay, and then do your work, do your chart work, guys. Chart it out. Okay, don't go at this blind though, because now you're gambling. We don't do that around here. We do not do no gambling. This ain't get rich quick. This ain't gambling. And so if you're not ready for that, you got to get up out of here. Okay.
Right.
Then, guys, the only play I'm liking this week is Palantir. Okay, the one that got the best chance, possibly, I should say. I hesitate to even throw that word out
I
there.
think I have some
And we can get this
Palantir. I
down to
think I'm up on
76.
it, but
This week, I can see us bouncing to 78 and then back up from 76 to 80 to 84. Okay, I like that move. 76 back to 80 to
yeah.
84. That's a nice little life-changing move just with
When I
that little
bought
move, if we can
Palantir, it
get
was
that. Now, they
61,
came down as low as 78. Okay, that's decent to
78
see too,
now.
because we in a good spot right here too. We can go from 78 back to 80 to 84, and I'm okay with that move as well. But 76 is support. 76.
Probably gonna sit on that for a long time. So like with Palantir, basically like Palantir is it's basically like a military. I want to say it has to do like a military company. So with Palantir, I'm just gonna sit on that for a while. I think it's definitely gonna blow up a lot more than it has already. So that's where I'm at with that.
A more crucial level of support that I like. And if we can hold that area, we can get busy back to the upside. But guys, before you jump the gun, wait for confirmation. Before you jump the gun, wait for confirmation. Meaning you need to make sure your levels hold. You need to make sure the levels don't fail. You need to see that some buyers are stepping in, some momentum is coming into the game. Okay, all these things needs to be part of what you are looking for. Okay, you can't just go at this blind. Matter of fact, if you need to, guys, before you learn how to trade, you need to get some one-on-one coaching. I'm gonna make it plain. You need some coaching. You need to watch the free videos. You need to do all of the things to get you prepared. Don't just think you're gonna jump on the 0 to 100K challenge and you're gonna make it all happen for yourself without knowing and having no understanding of and no concept of how to trade, how to buy, how to sell, how to put a stop loss on. If that's you, that's okay. You just gotta put the work in. We gotta build your foundation properly. Okay, and on the journey, guys, some goals gonna be to get your first 1,000. Some milestones gonna be your first 10,000, your first 25,000, your first 50,000, your first.
Yeah, it's just some motivational speaks now, but yeah, yeah, man. Do any of you guys invest in stocks? If you do, let me know what you're invested in, and if you're thinking about selling or holding on to stuff. I most of my stuff again is just long term. So most of the stuff that I do is like EFTs. They're called EFTs, where you can get a dividend basically. So, the more money you put into a EFT, the more you'll get back as a dividend. So that's what I've been invested in right now is dividends, where I can actually put the money into a dividend or put the money into a EFT, and then I can get a check, every quarter from the money that I have invested in that EFT. So that's really like the long term goal, is just to have a lot of money in that EFT so I can get the money back in the form of, a check every quarter. But we could talk about that a little bit more in the future. I know this probably could be a little boring for people as far as like stocks and investing, but I think it's important to try to understand it and figure out what's happening, figure out how other people are making money on the stock market, and decide if you want to participate or not. As far as me right now, I'm just trying to learn more about it, and I'm definitely going to be continuing to participate because I've had a fairly positive experience actually with the stock market and even with crypto, even though crypto is not like the stock market, is totally different, but I've had a pretty good experience so far. So I'm gonna just keep doing what I'm doing and I'll let y'all know what I'm doing. Let y'all know if I find any plays, I'll put y'all on game. But yeah, let's get into another video. So, I know earlier we were talking about my cinematography reel. I know we watched that. I should be posting that a little bit later, probably tomorrow, if not today. But I'll be posting that on YouTube, on Instagram, and then on Facebook as well. But I did want to watch some other content. I was watching some videos the other day just about consuming things online, and over the past 2 years, another thing that I've done or changed is really my social media activity, and I haven't been on social media as much as I used to be. um, I'd say it's a good thing because I feel better like mentally, so I think it's good for like my mental health and everything, but um, the way that they have social media set up is just crazy because like if you don't go on social media and interact every day basically, um, you're not going to get any engagement on your posts, right? So it's kind of a double-edged sword because like I need to go on there and promote my music, promote my things that I'm doing, my businesses and things like that, but I also don't like spending time on social media and consuming on there basically. So, you know, I don't like going on social media and then scrolling through everyone's feed, looking at, all these reels and things like that. That's just me. I just don't like doing it. But, but I do feel like I have to post on there, right? Because I have to promote like, again, my business, my music, all that stuff. I have to promote that stuff. So, I have to get on there from time to time. So it's just it's a battle sometimes because again, I don't like being on there. It's just a lot of negativity and a lot of kind of wasted time, I feel like. But anyway, my bad. I don't mean to be rambling about this, but over the past year, I haven't really been on social media like I have been. But I was watching some videos and I wanted to check them out with you guys just about consuming and creating, just the difference between the two, and maybe some inspiration to help you guys want to create more versus consume. So let's check this out.
In 2021, I was working a really tedious sales job at a department store. This was at the height of COVID, so a sales job, you can imagine, not very interesting. Like everyone's in lockdown, there's no customers to serve, so I'm walking around this empty department store all day. One day, I was organizing a rack of clothes at this department store for the 10,000th time when it just hits me. And I realize that I've spent more time at this department store than I ever have working on my own thing, creating anything of my own. And I realize I need to make a change, right? If I want to live authentically, then I need to do something about this. I need to make a shift. So what I did was I started to bring my old camera to work, right? My old camera. And after my shifts, I'd go out into the city and I'd just take photos for like an hour. I'd just go out and take photos of whatever captured my attention, whatever I found interesting. Now these photos, they didn't make me rich, okay? They didn't give me a bunch of followers, a bunch of likes, but they showed me that I'm not
Couple
meant
dope
to
photos.
just be a consumer in this world. I'm meant to create something of my own. Adding this creative element into my life was very energizing. And what it did,
That's definitely something that I've thought about. I'm not meant to be just consuming. I'm meant to create.
was it brought back this
Deep.
feeling that I had as a kid. You know that feeling of just getting lost for hours creating things, whether it's just building Legos or writing some short story of your own or making a comic book. Now chances are, if you're watching this, you also have a desire to create. But perhaps you've been spending way more time consuming. Maybe you've got a bunch of excuses. Oh, I don't have a good enough idea, now's not the right time. I need to learn more, I need to maybe take a course on this topic before I can start creating, right? It's time to change that. It's time to start viewing yourself as someone who adds to the world, who contributes rather than just takes from. So now, I want to share with you a very practical process for putting this into practice. The first step is you need to decide on what you want to create. And if you struggle with that, if you don't know what you should create, take a look at what you're consuming already. Take a look.
That's good advice. I was about to say that's one of the hardest things, is just to decide what you're going to do, what you're going to create. Like with this live stream, it's like one of the main things that I'm learning is, there has to be a lot of prep work. So before I even go live, I have to figure out what I'm going to talk about, what the live stream is going to be about. And basically there's just a lot goes into what are you going to create, because there should be something behind it. So I do like his advice. What basically he's just saying, look at the stuff that you consume, right? So look at the stuff that you consume all the time, and that might be a good place to start as far as what you want to create. And I think that's really good advice, even from like scrolling on Instagram and just looking at vlogs, looking at other vlogs, looking at other travel vlogs and photography and stuff like that. All those things made me feel like, man, I want to be doing that, versus just watching it or looking at it.
The accounts that you follow on social media, the YouTube channels you watch, the books you read, the topics you're interested in. That's going to give you a clue as to what you should probably be creating. For example, if you follow a lot of graphic designers on Instagram, then chances are that you're probably interested in graphic design, right? You might want to become a digital artist of some kind, and that might just be a good place to start. The next step is to give yourself a creative challenge. When I started to take photos after my work shifts, I gave myself a 30-day challenge. And the challenge was, I need to post one photo every single day to Instagram. That really pressured me to go out and take those photos and really do the best I could out there. And that leads me to the third point, which is actually begin to get into the habit of sharing your work. Build a website, make a social media account, make an Instagram account, and just post your work. Even if nobody follows, even if nobody shares, just the habit of putting your work out there and building this portfolio of just like work that you create, your own creations, that's gonna help you improve a lot faster, and that's gonna help you also start to identify as a creator. So get into the habit of just posting your work. Going through this process and becoming a creator will add a whole new level of meaning and fulfillment in your life. You'll start to see life as more exciting, more magical. You'll start to feel more powerful. You'll start to feel more
Magical.
in control of your life. So I encourage you to
Man, yeah, like this is really good advice though. And the part about like sharing what you create, I think sometimes, I do struggle with that, but I share a lot of what I create, but there's so much that I do that I haven't shared. But I think it's all because part of the process is me just learning as well. So even with this live stream, it's like, sometimes I question, do I want to um, share what I got going on, and basically I just had to make myself do it. And now that I'm doing it and I'm in it, I'm having to figure it out as I go, but I'm also being able to share this with other people, and that's cool. That's why I do it. That's why I even set all this stuff up and have been practicing, streaming and all this stuff, because this is what I wanted to do. So
Actually get started right now. Make this the
real
last
dope
video you
advice.
watch today. Put a habit into place of creating every single day. Even if it's just for 10 minutes, make it a habit. Start small, okay? But start now. Don't procrastinate this any longer.
I definitely pretty much, hey, that was dope though, actually. But I definitely pretty much, I do create something every day for sure. If it's not music, then it's some kind of video or photography, something like that. Yeah, that was dope though. I want to watch one other video like that, kind of along the same topic. Um, Actually, let me see. Who was that? Let's see. That guy's name is Sam Williams, the last video we watched. So, yeah, if you guys want to check out his channel, this YouTube channel is Max Kent, and this one is F Instagram. There's a better way. So it was an interesting title, and I wanted to watch it. So let's check it out.
If you were using Instagram in like 2012, then you'll remember a time when you would post a picture and most of your followers would see it. That cousin that ate a maggot one time, or that guy from school that you've not seen in years, but he leaves a thumbs up on all of your posts. Or even Hot Girl 69, who you were certain was definitely a real person. It was
I do
just
remember
a
that.
simpler time.
That's when Instagram was dope. I do remember when I first was on Instagram, because it'd just be all your friends, right? All the people you know, or they'll at least see your post. So if you post something, they would see it.
Were into the same kind of photography or art or whatever, and they would interact with you, you would interact with them, and it was, it wasn't perfect, but it was pretty okay. It was a time where you could actually post a singular image and it would do pretty well. A time before reels or carousels or ads. It was a time where I was only actually influenced by what I really wanted to do. And when I posted my work, my followers actually saw it. So I was fairly happy. That was before social media became what it has been for the last 5 to 7 years. It's virtually unrecognizable now. And every time you post something, maybe if you're lucky, 5% of your followers see it, and maybe no non-followers see it, and
That's
one
crazy.
really goes from your Instagram to your website. This comes with dramatic changes to the algorithm, where if you don't constantly feed it and constantly create content, then you don't really mean shit to the algo.
That's what I was saying about me not posting for the last couple of years. So now when I'm trying to promote my album, algorithm is shot.
If you're like me, then maybe over the years you did try your best. You saw what was maybe working a bit and you changed to try and fit to that and hopefully get a little bit of traction on Instagram. Maybe you saw someone that was doing well and you thought, okay, maybe I'll start doing this then. Maybe that is what I need to do in order to get more traction and, get more reach on Instagram and have more followers, and that's how you get a kind of career. But the problem is, you probably didn't come to Instagram to become a content creator. You just wanted to be a photographer or an artist. And now after all these years of the algorithm telling you what works, Your identity and who you were when you started has completely changed. I know what some of you are probably thinking. Photography shouldn't be about getting likes and subscribers or followers or whatever. I'll get to that a bit later. But first, let's talk about what actually happened with Instagram and what changed.
I'm done spending an obscene amount of money on takeout every done.
I'm getting back on track with Factor.
Fresh, never frozen meals prepared by chefs.
This saves us so much time when we're chasing.
My bad.
As I said before, Instagram started off pretty good. I mean, I'd follow.
About to mess around and put this Cash App up, man. Get y'all to pay for it so I can get a subscription to YouTube. Nah, I'm messing around.
These street photography pages and all of that sort of stuff. I'd post my work.
I'm just kidding, unless you ain't.
My friends would see it. If I added hashtags to things, then other people would see it. And sometimes it got shared on a big profile. It was a fairly okay experience. You would mainly just be looking at, work from people that you followed. And then if you went on the explore page, you could see whatever work you wanted. And that's great. If Instagram's mission was to create a good platform, it probably would have just stayed pretty similar to how it was. But unfortunately, that's not really what big social media cares about. Big social media cares about making money from ads, and it simply does not care how it keeps your attention. Generally, your attention is kept by horrible things or being angry. So over time, they harnessed basic human psychology that made it nearly impossible for you to put your phone down. Not only that,
It's so crazy. Basically, yeah, social media is just trying to trigger you. Because if you get angry, you'll stay on the app. That shit's wild, dog.
did what a lot of big companies do. Start off with a pretty good product and then slowly make it worse and worse until it's pretty much unrecognizable. You see more advertisements, you get less reach, and then over time, you wonder why you're using the app at all. But you can't put it down. You can't stop. As well as the obvious, the addition of Reels, there's another reason for this. When you used to make a post on Instagram in the good old days, you'd get a pretty consistent number of likes, usually to do with the number of people following you. It was rarely super high, but it was usually not super low either. But now when you post, it's usually much lower than it would have been back then. But sometimes, very rarely, there's a big spike and more people see your post. This volatility effectively follows a pattern of gambling. You see, when people gamble for long enough, they get a hit of dopamine just from the anticipation of a win. They don't even need to win to feel the hit of dopamine. Instagram knows that if it pushes smaller creators' work just enough occasionally, then people generally won't lose hope. They'll always
so crazy. But basically that's what TikTok did, you know what I mean? Like I know you guys have been like on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, you know what I mean? And someone's been like, yo, I posted this video and I got 3,000 views in 1 hour. I can't believe it, right? And it's when you see a post like that, it's usually a TikTok post. Like it's their first TikTok post, right? They posted on TikTok for the first time and they got hella views. So they get that dopamine kick and then, you know, they start posting more, but the views go down, right? You don't get good views anymore. And, you know, I know that TikTok does that because it happened to me as well. You know, every time I post a video, like after a long time of just like not posting on TikTok, and I rarely go on TikTok. Like if I don't go on Instagram that much, I really don't go on TikTok. But if I post on TikTok, like the first time they'll give me a bunch of views. Like I'm talking thousands of views, you know what I mean? And then if I post again though, then I'll get like 30 or something crazy. So it's just like super inconsistent, but you know, what he's explaining is it's like gambling, and it is like gambling because it's like, all right, you posted that one time and you got that hit, right? So it's just like at being at a slot machine. You pull the slot machine and you win, you win $30. So you might be like, ooh, let me try that again. Right? You try again, you don't win anything. You're losing, you're losing, you're losing, you lose, right? Then they might hit you with a little, they give you $10. Boom, hit you with a little more dopamine. So then you keep playing. So it's the same thing. It's like they want you to just keep posting reels, and they might hit you with a few views every now and then, but that's just to keep you on the app and just to keep you posting reels. So it's just a game that I really got sick of playing. And, that goes back to what I was saying about why I haven't really been posting on social media.
I think that they're just a few posts away from potentially going viral.
Yep.
And don't get me wrong, some people are. But let's face it, there are millions of photographers out there, and there are only a few that are actually big on Instagram. Like the old lady sat in a Vegas casino. Every time you post on Instagram, you get a rush. You get this sense of maybe this one can do better. And then it doesn't. This is what Instagram has done. But it doesn't stop there. If, like me, you ended up on photography Instagram and started watching reels, then it probably wouldn't be a very long time until you found a video of some guy walking along some street somewhere and usually approaching some young girl and asking if they can take their portrait.
Hello, my name is Lad. Do you speak English?
Yes.
Can I take some photos of you?
Yes, of course.
No, that's absolutely fine. You do what kind of photography you...
Yeah, I think that was some some shade. Why did he pick that video? I'm sorry. That photo looked wild.
Because you're,
that first photo was funny.
Being a sound guy in public, then whatever. But usually, whenever the shot is revealed, it's taken on a telephoto lens, like some 200mm lens, shot at f2.8 or whatever, and it's just a portrait. I mean, it's fine, but it's not great photography. And I think this is a problem because it can skew a lot of people.
What does he say? Is he just...
And it's just a portrait.
Is he just talking about those kind of... that photo is wild.
No, that's absolutely fine. You do what kind of photography you want to do, as long as you're, being a sound guy in public, then whatever. But usually, whenever the shot is revealed, it's taken on a telephoto lens, like some 200mm lens, shot at f2.8 or whatever, and it's just a portrait. I mean, it's fine, but it's not great photography. And I think this is a problem because it can skew a lot of people's ideas of what good photography actually is. Because it isn't good photography, it's good content. So if you're young and just getting into photography and this is the kind of thing that is inspiring you, unfortunately, I just think it's the worst possible thing that could be inspiring you as a photographer. And this kind of brings me on to the last and maybe most important thing. But before I get to that, let me tell you about something that's really worthwhile. Learning and investing in your hobbies and skills. That's why I'm working with today's sponsor, Skillshare.
Commercial.
This course on making a photo book looks really
ethical,
great, and it totally ties in with what I've been talking about today. Taking the photography process away from social media.
I did set it up so
making it into something
it should be ducking the audio, so when I'm talking, that should go down.
Courses
so I'll just talk over him when he's just doing his commercial.
There's a whole category on becoming more creative, or working with wood, or even film and video courses. It's through courses that I was able to make my channel, and learn how to write scripts
Skillshare.
and even
I
to
haven't,
shoot videos.
I thought about
So if
maybe
you want to
trying
learn and
Skillshare,
grow,
but
then take a look at the
I
biggest
learned a lot through
online
YouTube, man.
community for
Can't lie.
creatives, Skillshare. If you want to give something new a go, or you want to hone in even more on your photography, then click the link in the description and the first 500 people will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. So get started today, and thanks Skillshare for sponsoring this video. And let's get back to it.
Thanks, Skillshare. And then they're gonna hit me with another commercial, man.
Instagram generally doesn't reward great photography. Don't get me wrong, some great photographers have really big Instagram followings, and that's great. I mean, I wish that was the case for everyone. But some of my favorite photographers, some really brilliant photographers, have relatively small Instagram followings. And this is for a number of reasons. But one of them being that Instagram has an algorithm that is really bloody hungry. It needs content really often. And good art, good photography, takes loads of bloody time to do.
Right.
We're not really in a social media landscape that rewards posting a singular picture anymore.
Oh man, so that's like a big problem that I've been dealing with for a long time, not just with like Instagram or photography now that I, do photography and like cinematography and stuff like that, but just dealing with the fact that things like Instagram, Facebook, just all these things that work off an algorithm, they need constant content, right? Like all the time. And it takes time, like dude is saying, to make something really good, it takes time, right? So I can't be posting every day, and every single post every day is like a quality post, right? So if I'm posting every day, it's probably just going to be mediocre posts every single day. You know, that's why I post, and my posts aren't as frequent as I probably should be doing. Well, I wouldn't say should be doing, but it's not as frequent as like Instagram would like it, right? Because if I was posting all the time, every day on Instagram or like TikTok, then you'll get more visibility, you'll get more engagement. But again, I'm more on the quality side than quantity. So I don't like just putting out, a bunch of stuff. Even when it comes to my music, I don't like just putting out songs, putting out an album every month. I could do it, but it's just going to be a mediocre album. I'd rather just take my time, don't care how long it takes, and just put out the best product that I could put out. But, in the world we live in, it's hard for artists like that, when you got 75 million motherfuckers on Spotify putting songs out every day. I think that's what the dude says, 75 million or something crazy. But it's crazy, man.
We're in one that needs carousels and bloody Instagram reels. So we're kind of in a place where you need 10 images just for one post. And no one is taking that many great pictures. You can't fill that many posts with great photography, but you can fill it with mediocre content. So unless you're one of the lucky ones that is absolutely blessed by the algorithm, then the algorithm basically pushes you to post more quantity, more content, more mediocrity, and less quality. It can just totally lead you to change your whole dynamic, the whole way that you shoot. So what if we said, F Instagram? I mean, not totally, of course.
Damn, man.
But what I mean is, a lot of us have got really confused about what our photography is. And I think a lot of it is down to Instagram. As I said before, we're seeing people that do well, so we think maybe we need to change to be more like them, or maybe we need to post more, and then that leads to worse quality, and it's just confusing. So why don't we just take a step back for a minute? Let's just accept, let's just think we're probably never gonna blow up on Instagram. It's possible, I know it's possible, but let's just take that out of the equation. We're probably not going to blow up. You know, it's a scam. Some people do, but most people don't. So what, as photographers and artists, what do we do instead? Well, I think there's an answer that's way more positive and enjoyable than worrying every time you post something on Instagram. Now, all of us have different goals with photography and art, so, you know, take it with a pinch of salt. But for a lot of us, building personal projects and having people actually see that work is a pretty common goal. And probably the other one is trying to make a career out of what you do. So if Instagram is no longer really our friend, then what do we do? I'm going to suggest a couple of things. First of all, you might already be here yourself, but let's just say you're not. I want you to think,
this guy's just basically talking about me.
if it wasn't for Instagram, if it wasn't for anything at all, you know, making money, anything, how would you shoot?
Yeah, I just been off of the whole Instagram thing, man, because really it's like,
what would you do?
I make more money just by like having real clients and talking to people in real life, right? Like, I know that I can get clients from Instagram. Sure, I can get like visibility, but a lot of times it doesn't translate into like sales, right? So like you could have a bunch of followers and things like that, but that's why they say like, oh, they have these influencers, right? They have 1 million followers, but they're broke. So it's like, yeah, that doesn't necessarily translate into anything financially as far as like followers and Instagram likes and stuff like that. You know, it's really just about making quality content and you know, sharing it with people around me. So I share it with my family, I share it with people I meet, share it with clients, things like that. And that's how I get more jobs, you know what I'm saying? And again, I'm a lot happier just being off of these social media apps, really just using YouTube to learn stuff and now to stream. You know, I think that's pretty much my way forward, but I'm still going to be posting on Instagram and stuff like that. But, you know, it's definitely not going to be the way that Instagram wants it. I'm not going to be posting every day and stuff like that. But all right, let me shut up for a little bit. Let me let dude cook. He's cooking.
This is something that I ended up thinking about quite recently, and it made me start to sort of develop my own style a bit more. And to be honest, it's actually had a positive impact on Instagram, because when I've been posting, even though I'm not posting as much, I still get a really good reception, and I think people can identify my work a bit more. I think if we completely decide that we don't give a shit what the algorithm does for us and how Instagram reacts to it, then our work really becomes our own. And this kind of identity means we can work towards things that really matter to us more than just the same old shit. We can work towards photo books and exhibitions, real life things where real people can actually meet us, see our work. We can talk to those people.
Facts. That's what I'm
Those
talking about.
things are 1,000,000 times more valuable than anything you do on Instagram. Near enough. Now you might be thinking, without Instagram, how would anyone
dude's
know
cooking.
about my work? How would anyone know about this stuff that I'm doing? I'm not saying to not use Instagram at all. I mean, it's one of those things that you kind of have to have these days. And if you've already got a strong basis of people that you're just friends with that follow you and follow your work, then that might be all you actually really need. But my other suggestion would be to build a website and to build a mailing list. If you can get your own mailing list and get a few hundred people onto that mailing list, then you are not going to be worrying about what the algorithm does or doesn't do. Because when you send an email out on the mailing list, all of those emails get sent out to that mailing list. Whereas when you put a post on Instagram, maybe 5-10% of the people that follow you actually see it. So this could mean over the years, you might actually build up quite a substantial mailing list. And then over that time, if you've got a book releasing, or you've got an exhibition, or you've got new prints or things like that, you can update people about it, but you can update them directly. And they're people that actually feel like they're in it with you together, you know? I think something that social media kind of sold to us in the beginning when I first started using it was this idea that you could meet anyone through social media. You could get such valuable connections through social media. You know, you might get a new job through social media, or someone might see some photography you do and say, oh my God, this is amazing. I really want you to do this.
I hired an AI personal assistant to do literally everything for me. I was lazy today.
Yeah,
So in the morning, I had
man.
highlights.
I'm gonna need y'all to
These are
to
things
start
that
kicking
can
into this
happen
Cash
to,
App.
you know, people with much bigger profiles and stuff, but generally it just doesn't really happen. But on the flip side, I can't tell you how valuable a single conversation in real life at like an exhibition or a meetup or something has been in comparison to spending years on Instagram. Going out into the real world, going to
truth, man.
photo meetups, you know, sometimes they do photo walks, or there might be someone that you're really interested in as a photographer and you go and listen to their live talk or something like that. Those sorts of real life connections, each single one of those is worth 5,000 followers for sure. So let's say you've been working to produce a photo book and you haven't got a really big social media following. The Instagram algorithm is not being nice to you, but maybe you've got a little bit of an email list and you've got some friends and family that might buy it. You're already probably doing better than a lot of people. You might sell a few of them. Now let's say you go to a few local bookstores and you just talk to the person on the counter and leave a book with them and say, you know, if you're interested, it would be amazing if you guys have it in this store. They may not take it that time, but you've at least began to establish a relationship with people around you that are within that community. They might see that work and go, oh, this is good, but it doesn't really fit here, but I'm really glad that you brought it in. Next time you see them, you'll have a different kind of conversation with them. They'll remember you. These kinds of connections are a million times more reliable than any social media connection. Did I say reliable? I meant valuable. A while ago, I was in a coffee shop and an older photographer started talking to me, and he used to teach in America and all this. Later we met up another time and he critiqued my book. He spent hours talking to me and just giving me every bit of knowledge he could give me. Those few times that I met him were more valuable than nearly anything that I've ever done on social media. And while that is luck, you can definitely create your own luck by getting out there, getting involved with things like this, and, you know, people really within the photography community. These are the kinds of things that rarely happen on social media, but they do happen in real life. And when they do, they can change everything for you. So I guess I'm not saying never post on Instagram. I still post on Instagram. But now my style is based on what I actually want to shoot, and not what I think the algorithm might like. Shooting how you actually want is totally fulfilling, and you actually feel like you're expressing what.
He's telling the truth, y'all. It feels good, man. Feels good, man. Not trying to follow the algorithm, not trying to chase the algorithm. It's just like, it feels so good. So I'm kind of feeling him now. I understand why he titled it like that.
You have always set out to express, like, the reason you picked up a camera. You owe it to yourself to shoot like that. And if you do shoot more like how you want to actually shoot, like how you would shoot if no one saw your photos, then people will be able to identify it more. They will recognize it more. It won't just blend in with the same old shit. So yeah, focus on meeting people in real life, and, you know, one real relationship is worth thousands of followers 100%. Get involved with your community, find out about exhibitions or open days at labs or whatever there is. Try and get involved. And forget about how many likes or followers or comments or whatever you get, because for the most part, it's pretty much out of your control. And it absolutely does not tell you how good your work is, because there are some awful photographers out there that have got massive followings and some brilliant photographers out there that have got really small followings. So yeah, I hope that one was good for you. And yeah, I don't know. Take care. Subscribe to me. Can I say that now? I've just made a video that was dissing social media. I'm not dissing YouTube. YouTube's great.
YouTube's different, for sure. That was a sick video. That was a sick video. Man, that was a lot of good good advice. I didn't know it was gonna be like that, but I knew it would be dope. But yeah, that's what I'm on, man. F social media. But nah, but on the real though, YouTube is really dope because, you know, it's a place that I go to learn things, right? So you know, I was watching this other video and this creator was breaking it down, but he was basically just talking about the difference between social media and YouTube. And I like the way he put it, because basically he explained YouTube as a search engine, right? Because it's like Google. So basically when you go onto YouTube, most of the time you're looking up things and you're asking questions a lot of times, like you know, how do I do this? Or, you know, is this the best camera to buy or whatever, right? It's just like informational. So that's a big difference between YouTube and social media, and that's why I like YouTube more. But anyway, man, we gonna finish the stream up. I want to thank y'all for joining me today. Yeah, I think we had a good stream, man. So I'm gonna get to it. I got some things to handle today. I think today I'm just gonna probably be working on a couple of furniture pieces we got in the back, so I need to go check those out, dig in the shed, and hopefully, you know, finish up a couple of those, and then obviously finish my cinematography reel. Hope you guys liked it. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe. You feel me? All right, y'all. I'm gonna holla at y'all. Y'all be easy. You feel me? Yeah.